Welcome back, everybody. Final half hour of what's been a power-packed Thursday show. Corey Provis again tomorrow. Remember, 9:30 as Twins maybe could put a winning streak together as they play the Tigers. Look who we got back in studio. It's become a summer tradition to have Easton Stick join us here, all-time wins leader in FCS history. I'm so glad I can still say that because the record was potentially up for grabs this past fall. And now I can say Atlanta Falcons quarterback. How's that sound? That's after 6 years in LA.
Yeah, it's exciting. It really is a new chapter, and you know how that stuff goes. Sometimes you need a change, and it can be invigorating. And learning a new building, a new system, new part of the country, all that stuff is really exciting.
I'll get to that in a bit. You're back, obviously. You had your third annual camp, which I was talking with you yesterday, asking if you thought and how excited you were to do the first one. Now you're 3 years in. If you thought it would even go this long, and you got 60 guys that were here yesterday.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was something we hoped we could do. We wanted to make it something that could be kind of a summer staple for the community and for us. And so you just don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things right now. There's basketball camp, baseball camp. People are traveling all over the place. So for them to spend a day with us means a lot. And hopefully it's something we can keep going for a while.
And you had kids that have been here for all 3 years, which is pretty neat, too, that they made this a summer staple of theirs.
Exactly. Yeah, guys that have been 3 straight years and are telling you we'll see you next year. And that's the cool part of it is they enjoy it enough to come back and make it a priority. And there are ways I think we keep getting better. And, you know, we added receivers to it this year. And I think that benefits those kids and lets them bring a friend that's maybe a little bit more comfortable and then stuff you can work on together, take back to your school. So hopefully it's something we keep rolling.
Well, as a QB, as you know better than anybody, you'd love to have somebody I know who I can throw to that can catch, right?
No doubt. No doubt. We had Darius up here helping with those guys. So he was that guy for me, him and RJ. So it makes a big difference.
Yeah, describe that. You had Darius Shepard back, obviously another all-time Bison great, of how all that came together to get him back in Fargo as well.
Yeah, it was just the right time for him. Obviously, he's not playing anymore, and so a little bit more freedom with the schedule that way. It's something he had wanted to do, we wanted to do together, and so it just kind of worked with the schedule. And shoot, he's someone that, I mean, every time I'm around him, I learn something from him. He's just one of those people, so I think great for the kids to be around him.
And I know we talked, I think last year, the fact that he got a chance to be back. You got to be teammates again with the Chargers. That had to be surreal.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, and I wish it would have lasted a little bit longer. It's just he's one of, like I said, just one of those guys that the more you can be around, the better off you are. And so selfishly, you're like, man, let me get as much time as I can.
There are players, Easton, I feel like we get further away. Like, I don't know, like me covering the team, Bison fans that, well, they're good. You don't really appreciate how good they were until maybe 5-10 years. Now, you guys are unfortunately getting to that age where how fast you are playing. But Darius Shepard was a unbelievable football player. I don't think people fully appreciate. Maybe now they do, that it's almost 10 years gone.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, he got to the point where it really was uncoverable that last season.
Oh.
I mean, if we're being honest, like it was third down, we were throwing him the ball. You know, we're trying on first and second down too, but third down, it was going to him.
Yep. And he was going to make a play.
Yeah. And everybody knew it. Probably. Like, people aren't stupid. Everybody knew it. And
Number 20's getting the ball.
It's coming to him. So, yeah, he was at an elite level that year.
Well, it's funny because I asked him yesterday during the media availability. I'm like, hey, do you remember, and I know I've asked you about it, like a wiry kid from Tampa that came on campus thinking, how is this guy going to be any good, being Christian Watson? And I know you and I talked about it when he was, I think, a redshirt freshman that he was getting on the field. Like, there's another guy that came through and ended up being pretty darn good, too.
No doubt. And there's probably one right now that we're going to be saying the same thing, in a year or so. We've had, there's so many good players now that have come through. It's like.
We had Jaden Price on yesterday signing with the Saints. So now we're up to 20 guys.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, very
signed
cool.
with the Saints. So we're at 20.
Yeah.
20 guys in the NFL.
That's awesome.
Tell me what you think about that now.
It's awesome. It's almost like every week you run into somebody, which is the coolest thing. It really is. And 20 guys. How many FBS schools can say?
Not many.
Outside of the top, 15 programs or whatever it is. Like, it's special.
When you can tell a story as well on Saturdays during the season of what that's like, of guys fighting to get the TV on to watch their alma mater play. How real is that actually goes on in locker
Oh,
rooms?
yeah. I mean, there's TVs. There's more dang TVs in these facilities than there is anything else. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to watch film, man, right? That's what it's there for.
Yeah. So everybody's, as soon as there's a walkthrough typically Saturday morning before the game. And so you're running into the locker room, after, and guys are watching their teams and bragging. You can't bet, of course. So there's none of that. But, bragging rights. And yeah, absolutely. People definitely respect our program. And Atlanta's got a bunch of FCS guys. There's a handful with the Chargers. And so even, talking to those guys and, even if we didn't play them, it's like, almost like a thank goodness we didn't play you, one of those things. So it's cool. There's great respect for the program.
All right. So give us the lowdown. The season ends. You're a free agent. You signed a 1-year deal last year with the Chargers. What's your agent? What do you and your agent talk about once the season ends about what 2025 was going to hold for you?
Yeah. Really, this year we kind of left it for a while and then didn't touch it really until the combine is really when all that.
You got
stuff
married,
happens.
by the way. That's the big reason. So congratulations on that. That's
thank
fantastic.
You. So there are other things going on this offseason, which honestly was probably the best thing that could have happened for a lot of reasons. But it got my mind away from football, and I think I needed that after this offseason. I went from 2 seasons ago from finally getting a chance to play, feeling good about it in some regards. And then I had the surgery. And so it really went from playing to recovery immediately. I never got a break. And so I think I didn't realize I needed it, but I really did. And I think I, at some point in the fall felt like that. Okay, I need to step away and take a breath. And so I'm glad I got that. And then, it's really around the scouting combine where that stuff heats up. All the agents are
together,
with the teams. And so, all the gossip begins. It's really what it is. As the more you're in it at those early stages, it's just people talking and trying to get information. And so you get early information. You don't really know what it means. A list of teams. It's like, everybody likes you or no one likes you. So it's just kind of weird. But then I think once free agency started, you see where the first couple guys go. Obviously with the starters, that's the big one. Justin Fields signs the big contract. It was a big deal with where's Kirk going to go? Is he going to go? Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. So all those happen.
Daniel Jones, those kind of go.
Exactly. The big contracts happen.
Darnold was.
Yeah. And then it starts falling in. It's like, okay, Jacoby Brissett, some of these like really veteran players that are going to sign backup deals. And it just kind of starts slotting from there and you see where you fall. So I'm glad I ended up in Atlanta, had a relationship or two there that I was excited to connect with. And so we'll see how it goes, but definitely excited to be there.
So your agent says Atlanta, and how much research are you doing, knowing full, okay, I know Michael Penix is there. I know Kirk Cousins is there. Is that, okay, well, I know there's 2 guys already ahead of me. Is like, what kind of research do you do about when he says Atlanta's really interested?
Oh, a ton of it. Yeah. And it's like, okay, you try to, there's a lot of factors, right? But like trying to find the best fit. And for me, it's like, okay, if you get the opportunity to play, is this a situation that you can go in and play well? Because you know how it goes. If you don't play well, you're out of it. It's just the way it goes. And so, is this a situation where I think schematically it fits me? There's players around you that can elevate you and you're in a position to play well and win games. That's what matters. And so, can we win? Is this something you want to be a part of? That's where it starts. And then, you look at the depth chart and some of those things. And obviously there was a lot of unknown with all that's been reported ad nauseum, and so you don't really know what's going to happen. But excited to work with Mike and learn from Kirk. And I think my experience watching Justin, grow and become from a rookie to now being one of the top players at the position, hopefully I can share some of those experiences and benefit Mike.
Zach Robinson's the OC. What's the relationship that you have with him?
Yeah, so I met Zach when I was coming out for the draft. He was going to be, or was, my quarterback coach for about a month. And then Sean McVay called, and that was a little bit more enticing. So he was with the Rams for 5 seasons, and then Atlanta hired him a year ago when Raheem got the job in Atlanta, and they were awesome on offense last year.
They're pretty darn good.
Yeah, they did some really good things, and that system obviously is great. It feels like every year there's an assistant or two from that tree that gets a job.
Getting somewhere.
Exactly. So he's really sharp. but it's fun. We stayed in contact.
Okay, I was going to ask, did you stay in touch?
Yeah,
Okay.
and with him being in LA,
Yeah.
same city, but like 3 hours apart. We just stayed in contact. And
Did you guys have locker rooms in the same state in the stadium though as
yeah,
well?
but you're,
Okay, you're on the
you
opposite.
have your own.
Okay.
So it was always nice. They were on the opposite sideline
Yeah.
that we were for home games, and so even if you were the visiting team, you still were in your home stuff. Yeah.
So you obviously had that connection. What did he tell you about opportunity or potential opportunity in Atlanta?
Yeah, really, they're just potential opportunity. With some of the stuff they structure the preseason, I think I'll have a chance to play a bunch, which isn't everything, but is important.
It's
And
everything.
So,
It really is, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, it's just
getting game
exactly
reps.
Game reps, and so that'll be big. And then I just think to be a part of that offense. 7 seasons. This is my 6th coordinator, and so I've been a part of
That
a
is
lot
wild.
of them, but never this system. And so I'm excited to learn this one with all the cool stuff they do in the run game and the play action pass off of it, keepers, some of the pure progression stuff that they do. It's exciting.
Now, did you have a chance going through OTAs and minicamp to work with a lot of the guys that are going to be out there, or not so much?
Yeah, no, and that was great. The attendance was really good this spring, and it's spring. You're not in pads
No.
and some of that stuff. But for me, just trying to get onboarded, they're year 2 in the system. I'm trying to catch up, and so they were a little bit ahead. And for me, it was good to like, okay, I really got to work at this to pick it up
Yeah.
and to get to where they are. So that went really well, and got a ton of reps, and so feeling good.
They have some wide receivers that can make plays. Darnell Mooney, obviously. Drake London. I'm trying to think if there's another stud. What are those? I mean, throwing to those guys, just go up and get it. Is that kind of the deal?
Yeah, Drake, super impressive, and you knew he was good. Obviously, he was a top pick, and his career's been great.
Yeah.
But I think I came away even more impressed being around him for a little bit. Mooney, he's such a smooth mover. So between those two, Ray McLeod.
Yeah, that's right.
He's had a great career. There's depth at that position. The offensive line is fantastic, and some of the stuff they do in the run game is really impressive. And then the 2 runners,
Bijan's really, really
unbelievable.
good. Yeah.
And I think Tyler,
Algier's really good.
He was a 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie
Yeah.
before Bijan got there. So that room is really good too.
So I'm looking here for the schedule. You have Tampa to start, so you get to see there's another Bison there, and a couple of Josh Hayes and Cody
Yeah, a
Malker
couple.
there. And then the Falcons come up here to U.S. Bank Stadium to play the Vikings. So I know there's going to be a bunch of fans that are going to make the trip to. That'll be fun to get
it'll
back
be a
up
blast.
there.
Ben Ellison's on that
Yeah.
staff, so I get to see him. And that's awesome. I've only been there once before. We played there 2 years ago, so that'll be exciting. It's a great place to play. The stadium's unbelievable, and I don't know, that defense. Not really looking forward to that, but the rest of it will be great.
And part of the Falcons schedule is a trip overseas to Germany.
Yeah.
You get to go over there. So I know that'll be because you told me you went to Mexico.
Yeah, we
earlier
played
with
in
the
Mexico
Chargers.
City
Okay.
in 2019.
Okay.
That was an experience.
I
Really
bet.
cool. And then I haven't been since for an overseas game,
Yeah.
so that'll be exciting. Never been to Germany, so.
Now that you're an old hat veteran, you've hit all 32 stadiums now.
Yeah, we've hit them all.
Wow.
Plus a couple with the Mexico game, and then got to play in the old Coliseum the last year in Oakland.
What was that like? I've heard everyone's talking to me about baseball. You were there for football.
Yeah.
What was a football experience
Oh,
like?
It was, awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. Raiders fans as advertised as the bus is coming through tailgating,
Yep.
and it was a Thursday night game.
Oh, yeah.
So at night, it was a really, really cool experience. Your locker room is in the clubhouse, and then you come out from behind home plate, to run onto the field. So it was pretty sweet.
You're the baseball guy. You probably had some appreciation
Oh,
of that,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, really cool.
That's fantastic. Just a couple of minutes left here with Easton before we gotta let him go. The fact, and we talked about this when Randy Hedberg announced he's going to retire. The impact that he had on you. You're now heading your 7th year in the NFL. Is it easy to say or safe to say without him this isn't happening?
Yeah, a huge part of it. Him, the program. We joke all the time. It's like with NIL and the transfer portal and all that stuff that's going on now, there's all those conversations. You're like, well, what if you were somewhere else? And it's like, well, I don't think I really in my heart don't believe I'd still be playing. And he's a huge part of that. And so, look at his track record. He went 4 for 4 up here. It's pretty dang good, I'd say.
When we talk about bragging with your teammates, there's one to go when the season gets going in training camp. Hey, last 4 guys at NDSU got drafted in the NFL.
Yeah.
full stop.
Exactly.
Right?
And it wasn't like it was 4 years, like you brought 4 guys in that were established that transferred. It's been over
Yeah.
a decade. He was there for 11 years, so it's impressive.
That alone, to have that with Cam now getting drafted into Vegas, going back in your old division to the AFC West, just, I mean, you shake your head at it that this is when I remember how you were there, how big a deal when Carson got drafted. This was a thing. And then you got picked. And then Trey Lance got picked. And now this has happened. I'm living it. You were in it. I just kind of shake my head that this has happened over the last decade plus.
Yeah, it's all you can do,
Yeah.
right? And there were points in all of our careers probably, well, maybe not Trey's. His was quick and unbelievable. But the rest of us, there were probably points in our career where you said, I don't know if it's going to happen, And so for that, Coach Hedberg to, just find a way to help us improve and get to where we needed to have the opportunity. This place it's different.
I got an email to ask Easton. Well, the Bison are playing in Charleston, South Carolina. The Falcons are done. You're going to make a road trip up from Atlanta to go see the Bison?
There we go. I didn't know they were down there. Who's in?
The Citadel. The Bison open this year with the Citadel in Charleston. So I'm not sure. I don't have Google Maps off the top of my head from Atlanta.
I'm not real familiar.
Atlanta to Charleston, because you're getting familiar with it yourself.
I'm still learning the Southeast a little bit, so we'll have to see. But I know the championship game's in Nashville. I know that's close, so that would be really cool.
The fact now you're totally changed. Like, you've been on Pacific Coast time, all of it. You're the last 6 years. Now East Coast. How difficult is that just to adjust to?
Well, I'll tell you, the West Coast time zone, Pacific Coast time zone for watching sports,
right?
Absolutely the best. The games start at 10 a.m., so you wake up, you have coffee, football's on.
That's wild.
And the Sunday night or Monday night game is done by 8:30, 9:30. So you're in bed. It's fantastic.
All set.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
ain't the case anymore now.
Other than
man.
that, I don't know. But I enjoyed my time out there, and but excited for a new spot.
There's going to be another Omaha guy quarterback in the Bison this year. How you feel about that?
Yeah, really excited. He's waited his turn, and there's been examples of this previous with guys that have stuck around, and I know they would tell you that it was 100% the right decision, and hopefully he feels that way. And I'm just excited for him to finally have the opportunity to show people that everyone knows what he's capable of. They just haven't had a chance to see it yet, and I know he's excited about it, and for him just to go out there and play, it's exciting for him.
When was the first time you heard Cole Payton's name? How long ago was this?
I remember Coach Hedberg giving me a call, like during COVID, whenever that was. So the recruiting process, and hey, there's a kid at West Side, and I rolled my eyes a little bit.
That's a rival school for you.
Big rival. But had a chance to watch him play a little bit, and then his senior year in Omaha was, I mean, one for the books. And so watched him play a few times, and I've never heard anyone say a bad word about him, and so as a person, he's so impressive. And I'm really looking forward to watching him sit. Like I said, he waited his turn, and that's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to do. So it'll be fun.
I guess another Omaha guy, Tyler Rice, is now coaching at South Dakota State. You know that? He's
Shoot.
He's with a Jackrabbit now.
I knew Logan McCormick was there.
Yes.
Well, hold on.
There's a couple.
Yeah,
there's a couple of your former teammates.
One is all right. Two. Hold on. Yeah, I knew Tyler was coaching, but I did not.
He got hired down at SDSU now. So so there's a couple now.
All right.
Yeah. Just adds a little spice now more to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It'll be fun. And I know Coach Jackson a little bit. He's an Omaha
guy as well.
Recruited me, and so we've got some mutual friends back home, and we've stayed in contact. So that makes it fun.
I always appreciate the fact you make time to come back and do this. Thanks so much. Congratulations, on marriage and another great camp. Have a great year, bud.
Yeah,
we'll do this during the season,
yeah,
all right?
I really like that. Yeah.
Easton Stick joining us here, Atlanta Falcons quarterback, former Bison Gray, all-time wins leader in FCS history, joining us here in studio. We'll take our final break. We come back. We'll wrap things up, get you ready for a busy Thursday. Hot Mike wraps right after this.